Alright, hello. We're going to discuss something different today. This is for all the up-and-coming speedrunners who want to learn this game and the speedrun and how to practice as such. I'm going to teach you guys today how to learn Demon Souls speedruns, for the remake in particular. I'm going to give you basically all the tips I can give you as someone who's been running this game for a little while now. The best tips I can give for just starting out, practicing, learning the route, etc. I'm going to give you the best tips I can. And hopefully this lets you get into the speedrun, make it less intimidating to get into it. Anything you can take away from this, I'll be happy with. Before we get started, I do want to say, after this video is out, it'll be 5 days away from my GDQ run. I'm doing Demon Souls Remake on Summer Games Done Quick 2021. It'll be Demon Souls Remake current patch. We'll be going through the run a lot more in depth, so if you want to see a full breakdown of the entire run in a more general sense, you should watch that run as well. My buddy Ashton will be coming on for commentating as well, like last year, so we hope to see you there. Okay, the first thing I can definitely say is that you should get familiar with this game. Do a few playthroughs. One is enough, but I would definitely recommend getting a few more in. Know how your weapons work, how the spells you're going to use work. Get to know how much mana they cost, etc. And know the bosses well. Understand how they work on a fundamental level. That way, whenever you're trying to beat them in a quick manner, you will have a little bit better of a starting off point. After you do, you should next get familiar with the run itself. Watch a bunch of runs on the leaderboard. I would definitely recommend watching different runners too, because they all might have a unique little strategy to them that might be useful to you, it might not. Some of the top tier runners will obviously have some really intense strategies that may not be suited for you, but some of the lower ones might have some backup strategies that you didn't know could happen. Some backup pickup of an item that you didn't know was there, that kind of thing. Or maybe you could even watch someone live. If you can see their speedrun live, you might learn how they actually do struggle. Instead of seeing their best run to date, you will see their mistakes.
To YouTube? Hi YouTube.
Look up commentary videos or tutorial videos and take notes. Whenever you're trying to break down this run, you should definitely take down notes on a notepad or WordPad, whatever it might be. Write down as much details you need to, and then once you actually get to runs, maybe you can condense it a little bit to be able to be read at a glance. I always take notes of a new run, regardless of how much I know the game, just to make sure I got every detail, every item pickup, etc. If you're wondering about any particular skip, always look up any tech, skip, or boss strategies on YouTube and stuff. Learn how and why they work. In the glitch list category in the leaderboard, we actually have a list of all the skips and stuff. If you want to look them up by name or you don't know the name, you can look into that list, because we do have a list of all the allowed and not allowed bugs of the game. So that's a good way to check the list and try to look up by name. And even then, I personally have a guide segment in the guide segment of the leaderboard showing a lot of the skips and boss strategies that I've personally broken down. But I might not be the only one, so give it a quick YouTube search as well. Okay, so save files. This is the most unfortunate part of learning and practicing Demon Souls Remake, or just most console games in general, but especially the remake at the moment. There is no easy way to make a save file, unfortunately. There's no easy way to save it into a flash drive and load it up back in to practice. So the best I can recommend is having a few characters to practice different bosses by following the notes. Just getting to those bosses and having a few different save files. Some files can actually have multiple bosses because, as you know, Demon Souls is broken up into worlds. So if you have to fight some bosses after leveling a certain point, then you can practice those in the same file. For example, if you already have all your levels done, you can practice Flame Lurker and Old Hero and Penetrate in the same file, for example. However, in the early game, I would recommend having a few different files for the different bosses. For example, one for Fool's Idol, one for Maneaters, etc. Having a PS Plus subscription helps a lot, because that does let you upload your save files into a cloud. So if you accidentally kill a boss and you didn't mean to, you can reload that. That is about as close as you're going to be able to get to having a proper save state load up. Obviously, it is a paid subscription, so that is going to be limiting if you can't afford it or don't want to pay for it. But what I would recommend doing if you don't want to do that is to just quit out before killing a boss, or right after killing a boss, but you have to be really fast about it. For skips and such, all you have to do is really run up to the area of the skip where it takes place. You don't actually have to have any proper save state, because it's just always going to be there. The environment should always more or less be the same. So because I didn't have to learn how to practice Demon Souls as much as some folks, because I did have experience from the original Demons, I didn't personally learn this until it was taught to my friend Ash, where she was practicing for Demon Souls. So I'm going to let her take over on how to practice bosses.
If you are practicing a boss and you die during the fight, you can force quit the game to put yourself back in the entrance of the fog. You can do this by hitting or holding the PlayStation button on your controller and closing the game from the dashboard, and then loading your game back in. It's ideal that you do this before you go into the load screen in the game, otherwise you might be too late. This will restore any resources you use during the fight as well. This only really works during boss fights, as the game is just putting you back in the last game autosave, so using it mid-level will sometimes just put you back at the beginning of the level. The good thing about this is you won't lose human form.
And finally, to actually start practicing speedruns, I would recommend starting with a chill, no pressure speedrun to see what you need to work on. So just try to get through the game, no pressure, no timer, just get through the game. This could even work as a save file maker as well if you need it. Just follow the route, but no big pressure. If you do want to time it, you can as well, but just don't try to focus too much on it. Don't try to focus so much on going fast or being perfect. This will be the best way for you to know what you do need to work on if you had already practiced some skips or some bosses. The first few run times don't matter at all. You should just aim to finish a run so you can have it done and know how the route goes. You don't have to submit it at all by any means. That is whenever you are comfortable submitting your run to the leaderboard. If anything, I would maybe just put them on YouTube or something as an unlisted video or private video so you can at least go back to your early runs if you ever need the reference. My first speedrun ever was 2 hours, 22 minutes and 10 seconds. And there's no shame in that. And that's coming from someone who did practice a lot of the skips and was pretty familiar with the game at the time. That was Demon's Souls original. I was doing the magic route of the 80% version at the time. It went really badly and I learned a lot from that first run. I think I shaved down around 40 minutes for the next run and then I just kept piling up the more I did runs. Segment practice is important, but so is doing a full run so you know where to go and what to do. Often people will do segment practice of say like one level, let's say 3-1, the full Zato area, but then whenever they need to go back to the Nexus or something, they just get confused and don't remember what to do. So it is important to know how to piece these things together. Obviously having notes on you for the first, I don't know, 10 to 20 runs is gonna be needed, but it's still good to have that practice. And that is all tips I can give you for now. If there comes a day when you can actually upload saves to a flash drive, I will update this video immediately and by the description or title, because that will be huge. That is how Bloodborne runners save file, and that is the best you're gonna get for a console game. Thankfully, the load screens in this remake are pretty good. That's one of the things that bridges the gap between PC gaming and console gaming so far. And if we're able to get some sort of save states with the USB flash drive, so hopefully sometime soon, the experience will be almost identical. The only downside will be that there's no like IGT plugin for live split, for example, so we can't time the game accurately at all times, but RTA is also an okay way to measure time. I have some plans for the future for more specific 80% current patch guidance, but for now I hope this is enough to get a head start. You can find my general skips and boss strategies playlists in the iCard to help with any individual thing you might be struggling with.
Reminder that Berto and I will be performing at SGDQ 2021 on the last day of the event. That would be July 10th or 11th depending on your time zone. So check the schedule in the description to get the exact time. We would absolutely love it if you came to watch the run live. While we may not be able to interact with you, we will have a pizza party as we go back to watch the run together, and we will get to read all the messages in chat. If you watched our run, come back and leave a pizza emoji in this video's comments, and we'll shout you out in the next video.
Thank you, Ash. Alright, I hope to see you again. Do make sure to subscribe if you like Demon's Souls content overall, and do follow me on Twitch so you can see my speedruns live. Like I was saying earlier, it is good to see attempts live as well. And follow Ash on Twitch. She has a really wholesome community and has been playing some great games lately, so. And check out her YouTube as well. She has a lot of cool little videos. She does have some speedrun stuff as well, because she had speedrun in Dark Souls. She has both very funny and very educational content. Hope to see you again, everyone.
Bye bye!